And this game looks so good. I don't want to hear anybody whining about this game. Blah, 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 the Wii, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. This game is beautiful no matter what your standards are, unless you're just blinded by technical prowess and don't have any appreciation for beautiful art and for pushing the limits of what consoles really can do. And it's funny because, you know, the Wii is capable of a lot more than we give it credit for in terms of visuals, and yet, for some reason, so many developers don't even really push the limits of what this console can do. I think it was very telling that for a long time, say Resident Evil 4 and Okami were the best looking games on the system, and you know, it took a while before, you know, some developers were taking advantage of it. Nintendo first party stuff takes really good advantage of it. They don't get enough credit for how good games like Super Mario Galaxy 2 look, which is kind of a shame, but you know, for the most part the Wii is capable of a lot more than we give it credit for. We should be laying the blame at how Wii games look solely at the feet of the developers, not at the console. And this game is just proof that the Wii really is capable of a lot. I think that I want to be up here. Oh, but not fighting that. Definitely not fighting that. Leg lizards and big frogs I can handle. Let's prove it.
Come on! Wizard! Stream! You're a lifesaver. Boy! Over here! Yeah! Alright, we can do... Come on! Whoa, down! Yeah! You like that? Right! Nice one! Leave it to Ryan! Take this! Come on!
Can't really see where behind is. Oh, there we go.
Don't mess with the best.
So many of these attacks are based on where you stand, but for certain enemies it's kind of hard to see what side you're actually on.
We can't lose! Leave it to Ryan!
I don't want anyone dying out
Besides, there's actually an advantage that you get from attacking things randomly and from doing a little bit of grinding on your way, because, you know, this raises your meter at the top so that you can do a combo attack. Build up to do those combo attacks, like right there. So there's definitely an advantage. Beyond just the fact that the combat's really fun.
Now! Right, shall we?
Man, what a bunch of jokers. Let's stay focused.
Although I've admitted this before, I'm generally patient with the grind, and that's probably true of a lot of RPG players. But generally, if you see me pointing out or saying that something's tedious or grindy, usually that's a pretty good indication that it really is tedious and grindy, because I have a lot of patience for that. And so if a game reaches my last nerve, if I'm bored, that's generally a bad thing. In fact, it's really interesting. I'd rather play a truly bad game than a boring one. And I think that there are games that are not necessarily bad, but are definitely boring.
Time for a chain attack. Yeah, let's do it.
And obviously, a lot of boring games are bad, and a lot of bad games are boring.
Now it's right
For teamwork.
And that's actually true of writing about games too, in the sense that I'd rather write about a really bad game than a really boring one. It's a lot more fun and interesting to write about. To write about, you know, a really bad game. Because at least you have a lot of strong feelings about it. Like, really good games and really bad games are fun to write about. Games in the middle, very meh games, like mediocre games, aren't nearly as much fun to write about because you don't really have strong feelings about those games.
Got it. I only need one shot. Victory together.
A game that's getting a 3
bunch of jokers.
is definitely
Nice
a lot
job.
more interesting to write about than a game that's getting a 5. I don't know why I'm rambling on like this. It's just you can kind of get an idea of the workings of my brain while I play Xenoblade. Because right now we're just moving along to get to the Colony 6, taking a little bit of the chance to reacquaint myself with.
We can't lose. Leave it to Ryan.
Don't let a single one escape. Fire!
Eat this. Yeah, we got him good.
Okay, let's get going.
Oh, there's one of those turkey things.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
I can handle this one.
This won't take long.
Chain attack time.
Oi, over here.
Temporizer! Good night. Now!
Okay, here we
You know
go.
what? Just because we can, let's do a combo attack.
Right. I know. Going down. Go, Charlotte.
I'm on it. My rifle's getting hotter. Okay, perfect.
We did it. Teamwork at its finest. Almost there.
Fire!
I'm powering up. Sledgehead. Nothing like a good fight. Nice job.
Okay, let's get going.
Shinies that I have to remember to slot in. Flyer.
Now!
Almost there.
Backslash! A victory for
This is
teamwork.
the kind of thing that's kind of
Nice
hard to
job.
attack from behind.
Man, what a bunch of
Moving around
jokers.
so much, and the front looks a lot like the back. Sometimes you just gotta hope for the best. Oh, hello. It's kind of tempting, right? Go after some of those fish. Let's kind of check these out over here.
The enemy's weak, but don't drop your guard.
Okay, let's sort this out nice and quickly.
This won't take long. Now it's right.
It's kind of one of the things where it's just like, well, let's just hope that I'm
here.
behind.
No? Anyone?
And do the attack anyway. These guys are
Bring it on!
Backslash! Thunderbullet!
Child's play. Right,
Beautiful dodge.
leave it to Ryan. Upper. Whoa, down!
Shall we?
Let's not lose our heads, though.
Ta-da! I love the game kind of makes sure you know that just because it's big doesn't mean it's hard, and just because it's small doesn't mean it's easy. I said just because it's big, it's hard. Anyway, I do like that about the game, that just because it looks big and imposing doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to put up a fight, or, you know, conversely, just because it's really small doesn't mean that it's going to be, you know, tough to take down. I think that we can level up. Alright. I think this might be the right way, but then again,